All right, welcome back to We Are the Fall, and welcome back to 2007, where we're diving into Reformation post TLC by The Fall. And Steve, which album artwork should we dive into first? I think we should probably do the proper UK release first. Seems only fitting.
I mean,
Uh,
there's a lot. Yeah, I
there's a
mean, we
lot.
we there's one cover, so we'll just start there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
Let's
can
go.
we can mess with the innards later.
Yeah, yeah, let's go. Let's go with the variants as well, but let's get into the UK version. And we had a beautiful mosaic of the fall, and then with like kind of an overlaid text of the album title, the post TLC Reformation with an exclamation point. How are you feeling about this?
Definitely thrown off. The mosaic is cool. Did somebody make it?
Yeah, yeah,
Mark Kenny, George Shaw,
yeah,
Big Head and his wife, and Becky Stewart, cover artwork.
yeah. Mark Kenny, a mosaic artist in the UK in Manchester, he's done a lot of mosaics of music related and also football related, which is
All right.
interesting. And
Did
also
did
other. Yeah.
did he make it for this
Yeah. Yeah. You made it for this.
for the
And
album? Okay.
yeah, and I actually really like it a lot. I honestly, as usual, usually I don't think that The Fall needs to have their name on the album cover because usually when they put the text of The Fall name on the album cover, it's kind of like an after the fact thing, just so people know it is The Fall, which I think kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, just looking at I'm just saying this looking in hindsight because if you have an album that's really visually stimulating and it just either has the album title or just the band name, I think that works a lot better. And I would have loved if it just said The Fall on this album cover with this mosaic and they didn't add the extra text. I think it would have been a really cool way to go about it.
There's one cover where it says Reformation post TLC over the top of it in an arch, which I appreciate a lot more
Yeah.
than the bigger post TLC Reformation at the bottom
Yes.
one, which I think that one is the most common one, which yeah, I don't like that
Yeah.
as much.
I almost think that this is the reissue kind of one maybe, but I'm not really sure, but then at the same time, if you all are liking this album, digging this album, you should really seek out the CD multiple CD set of the reissue because it has other 2 CDs that are filled with, like, demos and outtakes, and I had a really fun time in I just enjoyed going through the alternate versions.
Yeah,
Um
I did
Yeah.
too. Yeah, the rough versions are great.
Mhm. Yeah. And I mean, even we love the demos. Like we did a whole episode on the fall rarities and demos, and it was so fun to hear like what the song could have been on the album. And it's not that far off from like a lot of these that could have been like, man, one version is just as it's almost like the fall live. You can find so many different variants of one song that you're like, wow, that could have been the version or, like, the lyrics he uses in that version are so, like, much better, in my opinion, than the album version, and it's just, like yeah, you can go on for days about just, like, deciding which one is, like, a definitive version. If you flip it over to the back, though, it's wildly different, and it's like a tree, a forest path, and it very much is bringing up, like, you can see a pasture in the far distance, but it's, like, some trees at dusk or at dawn. There's a very, like, nice warm yellow light coming through the trees, the track list. They even have, like, kind of an old style, the fall written out font that looks like handwritten out, which is harkening back to some old fall albums, and
It almost
yeah.
has like a painting
Yeah.
feel to it.
When I first looked at it, Steve, know what I was thinking? This looks like almost AI generated. I mean, I know it's
Sure.
not, but it just has this kind of wash to it, but I see what you're saying with the painting, like a oil painting.
Almost
Yeah.
like a blue orchids feel to it too,
Oh, it
to
does
some
have the blue
degree.
orchids kind of sunrise, sunset, lighting. Yeah, definitely. I will say though, if you have the LP, which is hard to come by and very pricey these days, hopefully this gets reissued in a vinyl format because the inlays on the actual records spindle is cool. I like the blue one with the font and with the fall kind of just like a dotted, almost like a little dotted what pointillism style of, like, tapping out the fall logo. Yeah, it's really cool. But let's get into the US version, which is completely different on the cover. It has a photo of the group at this point, and what do you think of this photo of the band standing there for their class reunion photo?
I mean, they all look it's very much like probably like the maybe like fifth or sixth, maybe even like 15th photo your mom made you take. And you're just like, okay, we've taken enough, mom. Will we be done yet? I mean, they all just look fed up. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe they're trying to look a little tough, but
yeah.
I don't know.
The story I read was they got this photographer, and I don't have the name off the top. They got this photographer who is well known for photographing Led Zeppelin, Elton John, like so like big bands in like in the 70s. Um
Bob
it,
Green,
okay, Bob Green.
Gruen, I think Gruen, Bob Gruen.
Bob Gruen took this
Yeah.
photo, and he was well known for taking band photos that are, like, really cool, and Mark was said, "Yeah, we got this guy who is, like, a well-known photographer, band photographer, has done some, like, really prime shots of really cool bands and, like, at the top of their game and making them look cool." And he's like, "We thought it was gonna turn out great." He's like, "And it turned out like shit." Basically, he's just saying it turned out like shit. He's like, "It was kind of like a total letdown that this is what." He's like, "I think his eye," he said something like, "I think his eye kind of he lost it. He lost it, lost it. He didn't have it anymore," which is fun. I mean, if I'm gonna seek out a version of this, I'm definitely not going with the US version cover. As much as, none of the band members are looking terrible. It's just not like a band photo that you would want to represent the band. Even the font is not that great and not that cool. It has the fall
Yeah, it's kind of like
with white and red. Yeah.
a comic more so than
Yeah. And it once again, going back to my point, they have the fall extremely huge, which is maybe at this point making a lot of sense because it's a bunch of guys that have not been in the fall and are not really easily recognizable as the fall. And Mark is on the far right side, and you're just like, maybe you might just pass this up because you just are not looking that closely and not knowing it's the fall, which is very unfortunate. The UK version, I think that's the way to go about it. You gotta get it.
absolutely.
Or get the Japanese version.
Go for that one. Yeah, there's the little girl cartoon I think in there.
Oh, there is a very strange Asian girl in front of some Japanese apple blossom tree, and there's, like, a fall it looks like it's almost like an inlay within the CD or album, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We'll post it. Steve, let's get into side B of Reformation Post TLC. What are we leading off with?
The Usher.
The promise. They portion to promise. They portion to promise. Tale of the usher. A. No violence. B. Ultimate sorriness. C. A mutual respect for all in the business. The Reformation is coming. It is coming fastly. And D. An even cash flow. This cannot be. What underrated. E. Cut down on rhythm machines and have more guitars and mini discs, etc. F. Treat PR, security people, agents, etc. with the respect and honour that they deserve. 6. Enjoy film.
I mean,
It gets me every time.
yeah. I like with the respect and honor they deserve, which it may not be any.
I like B, ultimate sorriness. The ultimate sorriness. Oh my god. I can apply that to a lot of things, which is maybe why he threw it in there. Mark said, I did an A to Z for some music magazine of how to be in a group. Things like A, count your money. B, do not mention the fall in any shape or form. It won't do you any good at all. I mean, it kind of calls back to like a Dr. Buck's letter where he's like reading something out of a magazine. It's not better than that, but it's like it, as an interlude, as a fall interlude song, I love it. I think it's perfect length. The
I like,
music is cool.
yeah. I even it's coming fastly, and you're just like, that is not a
Mm,
word. That is not a
mhm.
word. It's
Yeah,
like a Trumpism. Oh, fastly.
it's a Markism, which is even better. Extremely. The Tale of the Usher. Yeah. So it's like a list of what an usher would be required to fulfill in their duties. That's kind of fun. Even the fact that he goes through A through F in his list, and then at the end it's 6.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't catch the enjoy film as the usher, a movie usher. Okay, I was
yeah,
wondering what
yeah,
I was like. Oh, I was like, why does he want Mark to enjoy the? Why does he want us to enjoy film so
yeah,
much all of a sudden?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It took me a while to put it together too. What about the E? Cut down on rhythm machines and have more guitars and mini discs.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about. Like it was guitar driven in the beginning, and now we're gonna kind of fall off his rules.
Yeah, I think that's even like yeah, that's part of the rules, and that's even, like, a little bit of a play with, like, as the usher where you're like for modern days, like, silence your phones, but, like, back then it was kinda like, the rhythm machines is, like, something that would be distracting, and it's a place where you're trying to get, engaged in some art form, a film, and he's just like, "No, no, cut down on the rhythm machines, but the guitars and the mini discs might be okay." It's not bothering anyone too much. Oh, man. Really fun, really fun. That's fun stuff, but let's get into the right stuff.
That boy certainly transferred himself from the footballer before. You'd hardly recognize him. As a child, everywhere he went, probably people would sing. It was symbolic to a point. But nowadays, eccentric like he keeps for his plastic women's bosoms. The right stuff. How did he find the right stuff? As said, nowadays, eccentric like he keeps false plastic women's bosoms under his TV desk and dressing room. Oh yes. Growing up, his family had no problems with nudity. In fact, held his dad in good stead. And I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Apprehensive in thought, he overlooks the fact that Cumbery from his desk. The right stuff. How did he find the right stuff? Everybody would sing. He overlooks the mock Cumberer from his desk, where it's the wettest London weather, for in his memory at least, ever. Everybody would sing. Look at her. When that woman trapped her scarf in the tube, and some inconsiderable passenger left the window open. The wind was blowing the right stuff. How did he find the right stuff? The right stuff. Everybody would sing. The right stuff. How did he find the right stuff? How did he find the plastic bosoms? Everybody would sing. You're gorging every can and food because you can't find the right stuff. How did he find the right stuff? Everybody would sing.
Man, you know what that is reminding me of? It's reminding me of a current band that we just covered on our favorite albums of 2025, Artificial Go.
Oh yeah,
It's got that Eleni's vocals are so good, like, they're just so
yeah. Her accent, it just carries it.
it does, and, like, even her tone of voice is she's not singing it, she's delivering the lyrics. It's kind of like a it's just kind of like putting a finger in your ear and, like, pulling you closer gently, and it's really cool. The right stuff, though, is I mean, I just, like, automatically project on it my own background of, like, growing up around Frank Lloyd Wright houses around Chicago and just being like I always just picture Frank Lloyd Wright as these things. Like the family had no problems with nudity. In fact, this held his dad in good stead on I'm a Celebrity. I mean, I mean, that's obviously, like, that's obviously something else, but it's kind of like I like that dynamic of, like, projecting something other character into this realm that you're even slightly familiar with because it's right with a
Well,
WRIGHT.
I mean, the right stuff is the plastic titties,
Yeah, the bosoms.
the bosoms. I mean, there there is a Wright's plastic products out of Michigan.
Okay, okay.
They don't make boobs, but they may have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe, I don't know. It does refer to, like, the wettest London weather for in his memory, at least, ever. That I mean, so it's definitely a UK type of thing,
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
but yeah, it's just the family dynamic is, like, what gets it for me, and basically just Delaney just giving me all these lines where I'm like, "I don't really know what's going on, but I don't really care."
Yeah,
And just kinda, like, loving
the scarf, the hat, the scar. What
Uh-huh.
the windows open? What?
Yeah, the window's open, and then when it kicks into gear at certain points with the guitar riffage, I'm like, "This is proto White Fence sounding." It's
Mm.
like with the guitar strumming, and it's like, I mean, it obviously makes sense. There's obviously a connection. So yeah, that's a fun song. I like that. It doesn't seem as long as it is either, which I love. It's just kind of moving forward in a very, again, hypnotic way.
Hypnotic, yeah, yeah. That's why it works, is that it is not, it, and it's changing all the time. Like not the music, but the words. Like it's not
Yes.
like repetition. Like, oh,
Hmm.
here's the same line. Here's the repeated. It's just this kind of
Yeah.
obscure stories with some doo-doos mixed in.
And honestly, I don't think it would have been as effective if Mark sang this, right?
No, I mean
About plastic bosoms. It's just not as good
the
as a female
the the
presence.
gentleness really is
Yeah.
nice on it.
Yeah. 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 So inconsiderate. Let's get into a new situation. Let's get into scenario.
The pals of my childhood days. Pal of my childhood days. You taught me in worldly ways. I was a baby. Need everything for me. I stole the gold from your hair. Who put the shaven threads there? I don't know any way to repay my pal of my childhood, or find my pals of my childhood days. It doesn't get me high, it only makes me cry for the one who bought me the November date puppet on TV.
I think the instruments are trying to go places, trying to carry the lyrics. I mean, they're more interesting than most of the other songs, but again, it's not that, I don't know, enthralling, I guess. It's not telling me a story.
Yeah, see, I really actually love this song. I think musically it's really something different for the fall, and
Well, yeah.
it's just I like the sound that the band is making. I like the way it starts. I like the way he says, "I was a baby, me, everything for me. I stole the gold from your hair. Who put the shaven threads there? I don't know any way to repay my pal of my childhood." You know, like the pal of the childhood, and then it kind of just repeats that, and he kind of flips in and out different, like, November Day, Labor Day, or Veterans Day. But I feel like if Mark had more lyrics in this, or it was kind of a little bit more fleshed out lyrically, or what he was going for, and I don't even mean that as far as, like, telling me a story, just more depth. I think
Yeah.
this would be one of my favorite underrated fall songs. I just like it. I like it
Mhm.
a lot.
So most of the lyrics are taken from 1925 song "Pal of My Cradle Days."
Hmm.
So it was a parlor song, like, so basically it was released in, they say it was released in sheet music to play at home on the piano, and you kind of sing along with it, which it's not word
Yeah.
for word, but
Yeah.
most of the lines mixed and wiggled through there
Yeah.
with a little bit of Captain Beefheart, Veterans Day Poppy.
Yeah, the Veterans Day Poppy, November Day Poppy on is on TV. Obviously, on TV is not gonna be on the sheet music, I would assume. So but this I don't know, there's something about this one, it just always is getting me, and sometimes
I,
I'm just listening to it, and I'm like, "This is fucking maybe one of the strongest tracks in another dimension," you know?
the music is great. That's what I mean. Like the instruments are all over it, and they are carrying it through. And Mark delivers all the lines beautifully. I think it works together really well. It's just not a Marky Smith song.
Yeah,
Like
it's kinda
it's
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm totally it's kind of a great fall song to just put on and not have to focus that much, right? Because the music is carrying it, which is kind of the
Most
rarity for,
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say
what you want.
mostly, yeah, not what you're going for. I feel like there's a lot of different kinds of fall fans where I mean, I think you sent me an article, it was from a while back, but it was like they were like, "I don't even listen to the lyrics that much," but, like,
Hmm,
between the music and Mark's delivery, like, the comprehensive piece is the fall, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
the syncing up of those.
yeah, all of it together is this noise that is off-putting in this, like, fantastic way. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, it's like the dissonant of everything where you might hear this part, and then you might hear a totally different part, and then you might just, "Oh, there's the bass line," like, I'm listening to that only, and then, "Okay, now hear this is now what I'm focused on," where, I think there's a lot of different people that like different things about all of this.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think that's why, like, listening to this album as a 18-year-old or whatever, when I was listening to it, I was kinda like, "Oh, this is the same band that I listened to when I was, 12, 13 years old, and I couldn't decipher where is the entry point for my brain to
Yeah.
allow this to get in there and to appreciate it. Like, it wasn't there, and then I heard this and I was like, this is totally like something that it at least gave me like a opening to get into it. And this song, I was like, I don't know, like, honestly, I didn't remember this song from my initial listen back then, but I was like listening to it, I was like, "Wow, like, this is probably something where I was like, hey, there is something there." Like, I definitely did appreciate what was going on musically, but then also it gave me a chance because even though, like you're saying, it's not Mark's lyrics, but then at the same time, it is because he put the whole it went through the Mark lens, and then it
Yeah.
was a thing, and I like, there is no story, there is no like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's talking about his pal, and I'm like, "What am I supposed to be?" It doesn't tell you how to feel about it, which is great. It's like the thing that you want in music to challenge you to say, "You have to make a decision here." Like, that's why
Uh-huh.
I don't understand people that just are like, "I like music that is so comfortable because I know it already and it doesn't challenge me." And it's just like, I don't understand that perspective, and to each their own, that's fine. But I just don't get anything out of that. I need some sort of abrasion. And there's like a happy medium when you're at different ages, right? Sometimes you wanna get fully challenged when you're in your early 20s and just like, give me every single thing that I could possibly not like at all, and I'll sit through, an hour of extremely scream, trash can,
Yeah,
experimental industrial crashing.
which is why I think this album can it challenges that status quo to a degree, right? Where
Mhm.
even though fall fans are outside of that, "Oh, this is comforting. I like the comfortableness of the pop."
Yeah.
This is outside of their uncomfortable zone. They were like, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable in the fall."
Huh,
But
yeah.
this challenges their, "Oh, this is not what I expect from the fall," even though,
Huh.
always different, always the same, but this is kind of a notch above always different.
This
Like
is different.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't want it to be different. I wanted it to be the same."
I wanted it to be easy to categorize. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is extremely intriguing because, yeah, I think there is I hate to say it, but there is a cynicism to fall fans, and they're so protective, and, like, I know we 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 have to engage with it sometimes, which is fine because we understand, like, I mean, that's we're coming into it as not at this point, I hope we're not outsiders, but like if someone's coming into your favorite thing that you've spent years and years investing yourself in, and they go through a period where you're like, "No, that's just not that I don't like that." Right? I don't like that because it was not what they used to be, or I don't like that because they were trying to go for pure yeah, exactly, popism. And then this is just something that's like it's none of these things. It's kind of like the band is doing something that they think is fitting to the sound and what they could do together, which is kind of a different dynamic too, because you have members of a band that already exists and then members of that are completely new and they are all coalescing together. And it's really like kind of the perfect formula for the fall, which is like get a bunch of new people that haven't engaged with each other and get them to make something and
Yeah, like
give them the range.
yeah, like
I feel like they have the range here.
yeah, you gotta cohese together and like make it something.
Mhm.
You don't have a choice. I mean, obviously everyone has a choice, but like you've committed, we're all gonna do this, and what are we gonna do?
Not in the
And
fall, you gotta deliver something.
you gotta deliver. Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess it's not yeah, it is here it is. There's an
Mhm.
album that's gonna be made. So
Yeah. It's interesting too because at this point, I even read something that was like about the insult song where Mark's like, "I was just fucking around." Like, we were just fucking around. Like, at one point in the insult song, he says something along the lines of the band is all looking around and smiling and having a good time. And he's like, they don't know that they're paying for
yeah,
this tape by the minute.
wasting tape. Yeah,
Wasting
exactly.
tape by the minute.
Wasting tape. Yeah.
And they told and then Mark was like, "I was just fucking around. I thought it was just gonna be a Castaway thing." And the band members were like, "Mark, this is kind of funny. It's definitely funny, and this is definitely something that we should probably just put on the album. It would be good." And they talked him into it. And that just shows like at that point in the right mindset, he was totally open if it was presented in and from personnel that he was trusting. And he was, which is you can definitely hear it even in a song like this. You would never hear this on even like late '80s, early '90s. You wouldn't hear something like this, which is interesting.
No, yeah. So much more musical freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I mean, because like there's just so many great musicians. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, I'm not saying mediocre musicians, but like musicians that were playing in the fall and made fall sounds. But like there was a lot of people that were like fantastic at what they did, but they were kind of pigeonholed into doing one thing. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden they have this freedom and liberty to expand and introduce what they wanted, and they were allowed to do it, which is why I think it sounds so different than what it has in the past.
It's a question that I've always been interested to ask, especially like this lineup of the band is they've already got their own gigs going with their own bands and stuff like that. And how fun is it to be put within a working playground of the fall, right? Like there is a set kind of standard sound that the fall has, the fall sound, and to write songs that are within that playground space that don't go you can open the gate and go out there a little bit into the outside area and a little bit, but you it's kind of like a fun challenge for a band and a musician to say, I got like even doing our theme song, like doing our theme song for this show, I was like, man, I'm gonna try to make a fall song. It's gonna and then I started doing it. I was like, this is so fucking fun. It's so fun to try to like do something that is like the fall, but it is like obviously gonna come off as whatever skill set and like your influences are. And it's just like a really fun kind of artistic challenge to put yourself in. And I think
Yeah,
these guys were getting off on it.
and it's not that Mark probably couldn't deliver on any noise, but at this point, he's used to delivering his lyrics in a certain kind of rhythm, right? Like,
Yeah.
and writing his songs kind of, on the spot, maybe not. And, who knows how this went down, but like, you're
That
probably not
yeah.
welcome to go too far one way or another where he's not used to it.
That just shows how good he is at, like, being deliverer, singer of the lyrics, that he can go on anything, like, even, like, the Post Nearly Man. He can go over anything and make it sound like a song, which is just wild. It's just wild. Not many singers have that. They'll try to do too much, and Mark has never I've never once thought to myself, "He's trying to do too much." You can hear him sometimes try to strain for notes that he can't hit, but he's never trying to do too much as far as, like, singing on a track where you're like, "That's completely unnatural." Like,
Oh
that's
yeah, no,
completely
yeah.
not, like, even remotely what he should have been trying to go for.
Yeah, it's like maybe one extra syllable. Like beyond that, it's in it.
You give the 5 extra syllables in a space that is only meant for 1 for the common man. Alright, Steve, let's get into something. We're talking about it. Let's get into something that's directly in line with what we're talking about. A 10-minute epic jam, Das Boat. Well, it's the first 2 minutes of that track are unbelievably good as far as instrumentation. It's like a soundtrack.
Yeah, you don't even. I mean, I don't think you can have a false sound without lyrics, but kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it it shouldn't work, but it does work. After the 2-minute mark, I'm kind of it's kind of a scatter shot for me as far as what I'm getting out of it, but given any given day when I'm putting this on. But the first 2 minutes of it, I love the bass sound. I always go between it sounds like it's an actual bass going through some sort of effect to give it that kind of little bit of, I don't know, synthetic little texture, but at the same time, sometimes I'm like, "Man, maybe that is Eleni's keyboard bass synth, like, coming in there doing that?" Uh, and then they just were like, "We need some drums, so just
Yeah,
do some rim shots."
Eleni doesn't have a credit on the song, which obviously
Mhm.
typically means nothing, but she's not on it.
Well, they knew it wasn't gonna be a single, so they're like, "No, she doesn't need to be on that one."
It's almost like it almost could be just like with Das Boat, where like a perfect like World War II like submarine scene, like
Yeah.
somebody on a freaking on a U.S. boat watching a U-boat submerge from the sea. They just like start blasting them out of the water or something. Like
Yeah.
it's
I
foreboding. It's just like
Yeah. It is. It's kinda yeah, I can hear that, like, the surfacing of the submarine or even, like, a boat going down. It
yeah,
has, like,
yeah,
kinda that and then it's like, maybe that's what it is, and then after the 2-minute mark, it's, like, submerged, so it's going down there, and it's all of, like, the cogs getting getting water-filled, waterlogged, and, like, the water spewing over the edges, and then it's going underwater, and you just hear this clicking sounds, a little soundscape. Yeah, it's really I mean, it's also kind of fun that Marky Smith gets a writing credit on that.
you
As he
got it.
should, as he should,
That's
as
it.
he
Yeah,
should.
yeah, got him. He's got him.
He was there, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, let's go into something completely different. Let's get into the bad stuff.
I need to start with the other. Give me a couple minutes I got a plan. Okay, got a plan. She's a man with a plan. Wait, yeah, I know. Actually, give me a quick, give me a heads up when you're gonna go back into the riff, okay? Okay. You want me to start it? You want me to start it? Huh? You want me to start it? No, I'm gonna start it. And then you come okay. So what, you do two? Yeah, I'll do two. Are we rolling? Okay. 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 You ready?
Once again, it reminds me of a white fence tape collage.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could have done with that as a pure interlude where it's just the band saying, "Should I start it? Oh no, should you start it? Should I start it?" And then the song ends. That would have been that would have been really spot on.
The song was great though when it
Mhm.
started. Like you're just like, oh,
I
nothing.
know. Yeah, yeah. When it kicks in, it's really fun. It's kind of just like a little artifact, and even they're just like putting that other stuff on top of it is really really good. Yeah. And a good spot in the track list, honestly, for the way that it wraps up, because we're getting into the song. One of the songs that they were playing a lot before the lineup before this broke up, and let's get into systematic abuse.
is to me. When I get a potato out, it is the same. When I open the mail, it is the same. Nothing you can do, surround in the fonts. When I get a potato out, it is the same. Get it excited, it is the same. When I walk up the hill, it is the same. Systematic abuse, it is the truth. Systematic abuse, it is the truth. Systematic abuse, it is the truth. Systematic abuse, it is the whole truth. Paralysis, I'm telling you. Systematic abuse, it is the truth. Systematic abuse, it is the whole truth.
I think that this song just demands to be played live. I think that's the key.
Yeah, I mean, this one might be my favorite on the album, even
Oh
though
yeah.
it's yes, yeah. I mean, just this version is just fantastic.
Yeah, there's something that I read on the annotated fall that says this I think is one among scads of examples of the fall riff that seems pretty uninspired on the first listen, but that eventually persuades one to admit that it's pretty well perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that just goes for this album. It's just like you gotta just put the time in. You gotta put the
yeah,
time in. Let it show itself to you.
yeah. Kind of that the from the annotator. It's like I should think this wouldn't be the first thing you'd play for a non-fan, but if you're already a
Huh.
fan, the song is actually sublime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that some people, like, kind of pass this one off as, like, not having enough edge because Mark's vocals are pushed back in the mix
Yeah,
intentionally, obviously. Maybe even to give more of a live feel, but it is, like, a song that's meant to be performed in front of a crowd so that it gets that, I don't know, that blood pumping. And there's so many great versions of it live where you're just like, "Yep, that is a prime cut." Extremely.
yeah.
Yep.
Loud,
Loud.
loud.
Loud as you can go with that bass, oh my god. Alright, let's outro this baby. So there you go, Steve. Outroed from the Reformation post TLC. I would have preferred to end on systematic abuse, but there you go. I think the only way way that track actually works is if you're listening to the vinyl record and if they made it like skip in the groove back to the, this and just so it just goes on forever. The
Sure.
dun dun dun
Yeah,
dun 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 just forever until you take the needle off. I think that would work pretty well. Yeah. But let's pop the tab and see.
I don't think it looks like the LP didn't even have 14 on it.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
okay. Well, this is a little bonus for us then. We got the expanded deluxe, and that's why it sounds so pristine. And I got to say, it remastered. Ooh, got to get into it, and got to get into that CD set. If you love it, if you're loving this one, get into those bonus tracks. Steve, what are you feeling about 2007's LP from the fall, the Reformation post TLC?
I warmed up solidly over many listens.
Mm,
And yeah, I'm a fan. I'm gonna go. I got 4 proper pints and 3 ice cold Budweisers.
Wow.
We're gonna go 7.
Wow. Okay. Very, very, very solid. You worked your way up. You added on the Budweisers as
Yeah,
the weeks were going on.
for the Americans, gotta I don't want them to have to drink that warm stuff. They're not used to it, so
Yeah, I'm gonna say take this record, go on tour in whatever form you can do it across the United States, do those 6-hour drives, just keep spinning this baby. And then when you get to your destination, I'm gonna say 1 bottle of red wine.
oh,
I'm just gonna say this just seems like
just a regular 750? You're going to, like, a liter. You want that full liter bottle? The big
I'm
one?
gonna I'm gonna say something nice and dry for this. And something about the album cover and that dark red, burgundy red
And
fall
then
mosaic.
nice Chianti.
Oh, yeah. You just get something like that, sip on it while you're going through this. You're gonna have to play it a couple times, share it with a fall buddy, and just enjoy yourselves because this is I don't know, this is just something that keeps on giving. Loving it. I have no idea where we're going after this. You got
No,
any idea?
I
I
have
mean,
not,
I don't.
I have not tasted the imperial wax.
Yeah, and I have heard good things about the imperial wax as well. So I'm very intrigued, and I'm very
Yeah,
much
we're
looking
gonna
forward to it.
yeah, jump bands again, and we'll see where we go.
Yeah, let's see what the new lineup has in store for us. But I mean, I really had a fun time with this one. I was looking forward to this one. It did not disappoint. It flew by. It's a full It's a full excursion. It's a great road trip album. I hope you all enjoyed it too. That's all we got. So until next time, we are the fall.
We are the best.